Hello, 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 everyone. Good afternoon. I just want to take this time out to welcome you to my video, my channel one more time, where you know that the aim and the desire, is to change life, to see that lives are changed. My aim and my desire here is to really, help persons to realize that they have a purpose, that they were born for a reason. All right. So that is really my aim and my desire here. All right. But before we go further, I just want you to go ahead, like my videos, both on Facebook and YouTube. I really want you to go over to YouTube to like, to subscribe, to comment, to click the notification bell. And of course, share, because you may never know someone, that might, learn something. So I would really love for you to do that. All right. And this evening, I'm just continuing under the theme, wake up and discover your purpose. Wake up and discover your purpose. And under that theme, there's like a subtopic where I would call it how to be confident, right? Upon discovering your purpose, how to be confident. All right? How to be confident. Because I have discovered that many a times persons find it difficult to step out, finds it difficult to, step into their purpose. Sometimes it's not that they don't know their purpose, but they find it a bit hard or difficult. Sometimes it's because of lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, and all these things because of the background where they came from, how they grew up. So, I'm just here to help persons to, step out of that comfort zone, step out of that box. All right? Step out of that box because the world is waiting for you. Someone out there is waiting for you. Someone is depending on you to showcase your gift, your talent, to help them also to discover their God-given gift, their talents. All right? And quickly, I said before that we were all born for a purpose. We all have an intention. We all have a purpose. God created us because he has a purpose for us. God sent us here on earth for a reason. All right? And in order for us to find our purpose, to discover our purpose, amen, we must change the way how we think about ourselves. And I always say that many persons don't think well about themselves. And the question is, how do you think about yourself? When you are alone with yourself, how do you think about yourself? And are you waiting for someone to, to say something good about you? How about you go ahead and think well about yourself? Change the way how you think about you, because how you think about you, that is how you will eventually come. That is what you will become. So you have to change the perception of how you think. Also, you have to know that you were born for something. We were not just sent here on earth to waste time. We were sent here to serve a purpose, to solve a problem. There is a problem for us to solve. That is why we are here. We're not here to waste time. We're not a mistake. We're not here walking aimlessly like headless chickens. Don't know why we are here. All right, so we need to know why we're here. And upon knowing that, we also need to know that we are significant. We are important to our world. Know that somebody is depending on you to discover your purpose and for you to serve that purpose. All right? And also we have to understand as well that in order for us to really discover our purpose, there are 5 basic questions. Who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? What can I do? Where am I going? We need to answer these in order to really and truly discover our purpose. Who am I? It's identity. We have a lot of identity crisis. We need to know who we are. We need to know that we're ambassadors for Christ. right? We need to know that we're here. We have an assignment to do. We also need to know where we are from. We're not from here. We were sent here, but we're not from here. All right? We were already in the realm of the spirit, the heavenly realm, before we came to this earth. So you're not normal. You're not just you're not just from earth. You are sent to earth. You're not from earth. So we need to know that. We also need to know what is our purpose. Why are we here? Why were you sent here? So upon knowing that you were sent to earth, why were you sent to earth? You need to know that. And also you need to know what you can do. What are your potentials? Sit down and ask yourself, what are my potentials? What can I do? You know, and how you discover that, you know, you go to God in prayer. And also what are you passionate about? What makes you tick? You know, all of us have something that we love. Some people, when they're cooking, you know, it gets them excited. Some persons, when they sing, it gets them excited. You know, some persons, you know, when they do an exaltation, you know, when they do a particular business. So you have to search yourself. You have to understand what you like, what you have a passion for. And also, where are you going? I always ask, are you growing? Because we have to be growing. We cannot be on the same level all the days of our lives. All right, we cannot be, you know, growing only in our age and not growing otherwise. We are to be growing spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. We are to be growing. So where is your spiritual life? Where are you going when it comes on to that? And I have a note here that says, if you don't know who you are, then you won't know where you are from. And therefore, you will not know your purpose. And vice versa. If you don't know where you are from, you won't know who you are, and you won't know your purpose. So we need to know these things to discover our purpose, because I said that we are sent here for a reason. We were not sent here to waste time, all right? And it's only when we discover our purpose we will be fulfilled. And the key to life is purpose. And I said before that it's not just about, you know, go to school, get good grades, get a job, you know, then retire, then die, and in between you eat, you sleep, and all these things. There's more to our life, and somebody is watching you. A girl or a boy is watching you. A girl or a boy coming up, a young girl, a young boy, you know, is depending on you. Somebody that is not yet born is depending on your, you know, on you, for you to discover your purpose and for you to motivate them, for you to inspire you. All right. So that is it. That was just, you know, a quick rundown of what the main purpose is and what was discussed. So upon doing all of that, you know, I said that when you discover your purpose now, you need to be confident enough to step out. Some of us, as I said, it's not that we have not discovered ourselves, but we are not yet confident, right? We doubt ourselves. We have so much fear, and fear is a killer. Fear cripples us. Fear, you know, make us stay in one corner. Fear won't allow us to step out of our comfort zone. But we have to step out of our comfort zone, or else we're not going to reach anywhere. We're not going to be effective. We're not going to serve our gift. The Bible tells us that our gift makes room for us and bring us before great men. But if we sit on our gift, if we are not doing anything with our gift, then it's not going to take us anywhere. All right. So in the previous video, I mentioned about the first thing that we need to do, or the first knowledge that we need to have in order to be confident, is the knowledge of God, right? So we need to know something about God that will help us to be confident. All right. The Bible said that those who know their God shall be strong and do exploit. Those who that know their God shall be strong and do exploit. All right. So you need to have that knowledge about God. You need to know that God is backing you. You need to know that you can step out because God is on your side. All right. You need to know something about God. You need to know that God is love, right? You need to know that God's loving kindness is towards you. Because guess what? What you know, based on what you know, you may act shy and timid or brave and bold. And I always give this example about David. I am convinced that David, he knew something about God because he was such a small boy. Goliath was a giant, but yet he was so confident to defeat him. That means he knew something about his God. He knew that God would never leave him or forsake him. When you're facing the trials and the situation, you seem as if you cannot, accomplish what you set out to accomplish in the kingdom. You need to know that God is on your side. You need to know that God is working behind the scene. You need to know that God is fighting your battles for you. So you need to know something about God. All right? So it's just a recap of what was said. We need to know the God that we serve. We need to know that God is omnipotent, all powerful. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. And when you know that God is a God of ability and integrity, you have nothing to worry about. And why do we need to know God? Because we are limited. We are limited, but God is unlimited, right? Sorry. We are limited, but God is unlimited. And there will be times in our life when it seems as if we are not making, we're not seeing any results, right? There will be time in our life when so many things will come upon us that will want to discourage us, make us feel as if we're not going anywhere. But then you need a reminder of the God you serve. That you need to know that God is there, walking with you hands in hands, and He's not going to leave you or forsake you, right? So we need to know that about God, all right? And we need to know that His love is unconditional towards us, and that Lord will not sit by and allow the enemy to destroy us and to kill our purpose. Just like Joseph had a purpose. And the Lord was with him all the way. When he was thrown in the pit, when they sold him, when he was in Egypt, the Lord was with him. So there's going to be time in your life when situation seems rough and tough, but then you don't need to worry because you know your God, and you know that He's with you, and you know that He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. You know that He is backing you. He said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So when you know the God you serve, you don't worry. When the enemy, persecutes you, when the enemy speak all manner of evil against you, I said before that we are living in a wicked world. Persons are wicked nowadays, and witchcraft activity are so high, and persons don't want to see you reach for whatever reason. So they will plant all kinds of things. Persons will be wherever they are doing so many things for you not to come out to anything. But you need to know God, that He is, the Bible said that let not the rich man boast in his riches. Let not the mighty man boast in his strength. And but let he that boast in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord which exerciseth loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness. So when you know that God is love, God is righteous, God is not biased, God is not partial, He judged fairly, He judged rightly, then you don't worry about anything, because the Bible tells us that the whole world lieth in wickedness. All right, and we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness, wickedness in high places. Some of us cannot come to anything, or it seems as if we have this fight, and it's like we're not coming to anything because they're fighting against us. And life is very spiritual, so we have to know that as well. All right, so that is why we need God and need to know that God is on our side. So we need God to be confident. Now, when we step out, we know that God is on our side. We have this confidence and we can step out into our purpose and we can, carry out our purpose as was intended. When you know that no matter what God is, you have this faith in God. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6 says that without faith, it is impossible to please God. And those that come to him must believe that he is, that he exists, that he is real and that he is a reward of them that diligently seek him. So when you have faith, when God becomes the object of your faith, you can step out in confidence. When you know that whatever God calls for, he provides for. You don't have to worry about what you are limited on. You don't have to worry about what you lack, what you don't have. You know that God will provide. You know that God is your source. And God is going to provide the resource. All right? So you need to know some things about God. When you know some things about your God, then you will be able to step out in confidence. When you know that you have God, and when you know that God is able to take you from grass to grace, you will step out in confidence. When you know that you serve a God that is able to take you from the mess and change you into a message, you will step out in confidence. So that's the point of knowing who God is, knowing the God that you serve. Okay? And now, upon knowing God, when you know that you serve the God you serve, the powerful God, the mighty God, when you understand that you are created in his image, you are created in God's image, then you will have that confidence. So you need to first, in order to be confident, to step out in your purpose, you need to first know the God you serve, and then you need to know who you are. So you need to know God, know who God is, and then know who you are. All right? So as a result of knowing God first, and let me say this. In the beginning, God, everything that you're doing, make sure that you put God first. In the beginning, God. In the beginning of your business, God. In the beginning of your career, God. In the beginning of your ministry. So, sometimes being a Christian person think that you're being restrained from stepping out. No, you're not being restrained, but make sure that you put God first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. Everything else. So you seek God first. You put it to God. You incorporate God. You talk to God about it and all these things. Right? So you put him first. So everything you have to start with God. All right? Whatever you're getting married, God. All right? So as a result of knowing God first, as a result of knowing God first, we know and understand ourselves. So when we know God, then we will know us. All right? We will understand more about us. We will understand how we were created. So all right? So we will know ourselves and what we are capable of. In Jeremiah 1 and verse 5, God told Jeremiah that before he formed him in the belly, he knew him. That goes to show that God knew exactly who we are and what we are capable of before he sent us here to earth. And also we need to know that we were finished before we were sent to earth, meaning that everything that we need to accomplish our assignment is already inside of us. All right? Inside of us, whatever God calls for, he already provided for. So we were finished before we sent to this earth. All right? So he said to Jeremiah that before he formed him in the belly, he knew him. That goes to show that God knew exactly who we are and what we are capable of before we were sent to this earth. The question is, do you know who you are? God knew us before he formed us. But the question is, do you know who you are? All right? Do you know you? So God knew us, but do we know ourselves? Do you know you? We need to know who we are. Do you know you and what you are capable of? Do you know what you're capable of? Do you know your worth? Do you know and understand that your worth should not be based on the opinion of others? So that is a big problem. We want to step up, but we are afraid of what people will say. Someone said that opinions, they are the cheapest commodity, meaning that they're so cheap, everyone has them, right? So we cannot rely on persons' opinions to tell us who we are, to tell us how far we will reach, to tell us what we will amount to. We cannot. Because you have some people that they see our potential and they see what we're going to become. They don't like it. They see that we're even going to become powerful than them. So they're trying to suppress that. They're trying to push that down. So they talk all kind of things. They criticize us, right? They tell us that we can't. And sometimes some people will take that and allow that to deter them, allow that to discourage them. But we cannot do that. We cannot do that. We have to know who we are. Never you take the opinion of someone. I'm not saying that you cannot take positive criticism or feedback, but you have to know who you are. Yes, you may listen, but you have to know what you pick up. You have to know what suits you. You have to know what is pulling you down from what is lifting you up. All right? So, do you know that your true worth should not be based on what you have or what you don't have? That is the next thing. If we don't have a particular car, if we don't have a house, if we don't have certain things, we just believe that we are nobody. At least some persons, I'm just saying, most persons, they don't see themselves as important. They don't see themselves. Do you know how valuable you are? How valuable we are? How valuable a life is? That is why none of us is a mistake. Some of us don't know how valuable we are. We don't need things to define us. We don't need material things to really define us. Yes, it's good to have things to be more comfortable and all these things, but that is not what defines you. And some person, if they don't have a particular phone, a particular car, a big house, or whatever, I'm not saying these things are wrong, but we must not use them to define us. And even when we accomplish them, we must not use them to define us. And we must not allow them to make us treat others less. Because a life is important. A life is important. And when it comes on to that, we're all equal. We're all flesh. We're all blood. All right? So, right. So, do you know that you are precious in the sight of God? Do you know that you are the highest, or we are the highest of God's creation? We need to know that. Do you know that we are the zenith of his creation, meaning, top, as we would say, we are higher than all creatures, like the animals and all these things, right? We're the highest and the apex of his artistry, right? We were created in God's image and in his likeness. We were fearfully and wonderfully made. Do you know that you are perfect for your purpose? Let me say that again. We are perfect for our purpose. So don't you go around and say, oh, I wish I could sing like her, I could teach like her, I could do this like this person. Don't compare yourself to people. Comparison is the number one killer. When you compare, you know what you're doing? Two things. Is either you're going to be filled with pride because you're going to say, oh, I'm better than that person. You're going to be prideful. Or you're going to feel, like you're not worthy. You're going to feel that that person is better than you and you cannot go near that person. Stay in your own lane and do what you can do. And some of us are comparing ourselves to persons who started long before us, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Some person discovered their purpose before some. Some person gained confidence before some. Some persons were able to step out before some. It's not your fault. All right? You're never too late. You're learning now. All right? So don't compare yourself because it's very dangerous anywhere you take it. So as I said, when you're comparing yourself, is it that you're going to see yourself better than people and pride is going to take over? Or are you going to see yourself lower than people and feel as if you're no match? So you're going to be lack of confidence. All right? You're going to have low self-esteem. So don't do that. All right? No comparison. And you don't need to look, act, or speak like anyone else to fulfill your purpose. Let me say that again. You're an original, you're not a copy. You don't need to look, act, or speak like anyone else to fulfill your purpose. All you have to be is to be your authentic self. Be your true self, and everything else will fall in place. When you know there is no place, when you know that there is no place for self-doubt, all right? When you know that you are unique and you don't have to be like anyone else or try to fit in, then your confidence will grow. Know that you are the apple of God's eye. You are his beloved. You are significant. You are important to God and to your world. Know that you are a crown of glory and a royal diadem. Remember, we're talking about knowing who you are in order to be confident. Some of us don't know who we are. That's why we're trying to fit in. We're trying to follow the latest trend. Persons are doing surgeries on their face, on their body. They want to be like others, to feel significant, all right? So we are a crown of glory and a royal diadem. Know that you are a winner and you have what it takes to fulfill your purpose. Know that your most powerful possession is your mind. And remember, we spoke about the mind, how powerful the mind is, and you cannot go beyond your mindset. So if you tell yourself that you cannot do it, you're right. And if you tell yourself that you can do it, you are also right. All right? The Bible tells us to keep our mind or our heart diligently, because out of it are the issues of life. Whatever you think, you will eventually come. So if you have something that you want to do, you want to step out and do, if you tell yourself that you cannot do it, oh, they're going to laugh at me, oh, they're not going to like me, all these things, then you are right. So you have to tell yourself positive things and don't depend on the opinions of others. You have to step out. You have to be confident. You cannot go beyond your mindset. All right? You have to talk to yourself and think well about yourself. You have to be your own cheerleader. You don't wait on people to cheer you on or to compliment you. You step out and be confident and tell yourself positive things. Your mind is very powerful. Your mind is what you use to create your reality. Your mind, more specifically your subconscious mind, it is like the soil, right? And your thoughts are seeds. We are all farmers, right? From the time you wake up, you're farming to when you go back to sleep, even during your sleep, right? We're all farmers. As I said, the mind is the soil and our thoughts are the seeds. So this is saying that you are farming from you wake up. When you get up out of your bed, how you think, even before you take on your task for the day, you're farming, all right? And when you farm, things grow. So we sow seeds every single day, right? From the time we woke up, right, to right back to the night, even when we're asleep. The Bible tells us, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever you sow, that is what you will reap also, right? Whatsoever can be anything. So if you're sowing negative seed, you're going to receive negative results. Positive, if you sow corn, you reap corn. If you sow poison, you reap poison. And that's why we have to be careful how we think. We become what we think all day long. Our physical reality, look at your life right now. You could be further. Our physical reality is a merciless reflection. It's not going to pretty up anything of how we think, of our most dominant thoughts, of our understanding of life and of God. That's why I said we need to know God. We need to know who God is. The God that we serve, that is what will help to push us and to be confident. All right? Mm-hmm. Right. So whatever can, yes, so that whatever. So whatever you sow can be anything. In this context, whatever are our thoughts. Thoughts about ourselves, thoughts about our life. What are your thoughts of you? Do you think well of yourself? Do you see yourself as a nobody or somebody? Do you see yourself amounting to something or not? Do you see yourself as God's prized possession or not? We have to know and understand that we cannot go beyond our mindset and that we become exactly how we think daily. We are to learn from the mindset of the lion, right? The lion is not the strongest. He's not the tallest. He's not the fastest. He's not the smartest. He's not the biggest animal in the animal kingdom. However, he is the king of the animal kingdom. Why? Because of his mindset, because of how he thinks, all right? The way he thinks. When he looks at the other animals, he doesn't say, oh man, they're bigger than me, or they're smarter than me, they're stronger than me, right? He see them. When he look at them, he thinks of them. He see them as food, as, that's my food, that's my lunch, that's my dinner, that's my breakfast, right? He's not questioning himself, oh, can I do this, or can I catch this cat? Can I, kill this thing? As he see that thing immediately, that's my lunch, that's my dinner, that's my breakfast. That is how we are to think. Other animals now see him as eater. Even though they're big, even though they're strong, they're smarter than him, they see him as eater. All right? And there's a saying that our mentality must match our ability, or our mentality will cancel our ability. So many of us, we have the ability. We all have what it takes. We are all able and capable. But our mentality is not right. We need to change our mentality. The way we look at things, the way how we take on tasks, the way how we do things. As long as we have that negative mentality, we will not reach anywhere. We will not be able to step out. So we need to change our mindset. We need to have the right mentality to match our ability, or our mentality will cancel our ability. All right? All right, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learn something. Remember now to go over to YouTube, Facebook, and, share this video, like it, comment, click the notification bell, subscribe. All right, I love you guys. I have to run now. I will see you next time. All right, take care.